Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, BonBon here. It's your one-stop shop for everything workshop, and it's Saturday, woohoo! Now I'm sorry today's show is a little bit on the long side. Got an awful lot to pack in today, I mean seriously loads, including something that you've never seen before, certainly not in What's Map anyway. So what's on today's menu? Well, let's tell you, shall we tell you? Coming up, our map maker is on fire, oh yeah. And we're going somewhere other than Assetville for today's asset. And we'll finish with an owl spectacular. We all love a bit of owl, don't we? And that is everything coming up in today's show. Yeah, but before we rattle on with all of that, let me take you back to Wednesday's map, Northern Waterfalls Vale by 33 Shin 33. Now I gave this the BonBonB seal of approval, but it was a very close run thing. I mean, the roads they let the map down big time. The terraforming was outstanding, and it was an exciting fantasy map to review, and kind of the terraforming balanced out the roads for me, and it just got the seal of approval. However, it was then brought to my notice by one of you keen commenters that actually this interchange that takes you down into the start square, well, it's a fail, and it's a major fail if I'm honest with you. We've got right-hand drive in the entire map, but when we exit this interchange, it all swaps over to left-hand drive. And that, for me, is a big sin. Basically, you've got to rebuild the start interchange to be able to make this map work for you. Or you've got to switch the interchange back over when you get back into the city if you want right-hand drive. Basically, it's a mess. If you're playing vanilla, well, that's a big problem that you don't want to be doing, and if you're not playing vanilla, well, it's one more thing you need to sort out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the detailing score from 4 stars down to 3 stars, and very reluctantly and for the first time ever, I'm going to revoke the seal of approval. Still a very nice map, I still love it to pieces, but those roads, they need working on. Anyway, let's crack on with today's show, shall we? Because we are, 3 minutes into the show and we've not even started looking at today's map. I apologise for that. Let's put things right. Today's map is Vinland Saga by Bringer of Fire. We saw Bringer of Fire just a couple of weeks ago in episode 223, and they got 11 stars then, so let's see if we can improve on that one, shall we? This one, really nicely decorated map. With the fields, as you can probably tell, there's your start square, nice open space, very flat and very fine. There's your resources, and it's strange that there's more forestry in the farmland than there is farmland. What do you need? Well, a few things, okay. That's your required items on the right, but actually you're going to need to go in and have a look at the one-click collection. We'll be using the Clara LUTs today, and one of Ikanya's great themes. Right, so here's your list of actual required items. It does go on a little bit, but it's not the biggest collection I've seen, and many of these things some of you will have anyway. It's like Fine Road Anarchy. Do you really need that? I'm pretty sure the map already will work with or without it. Now, here we are. Look at the mountains in the distance there. We'll get a closer look at them later on. The roads, well, first of all, there's not too much wrong with them, apart from, look at this. We're starting off a little bit glitchy there. Just a little bit glitchy. No mantle shining through, but a little bit of a problem. Not huge. we could kind of let that go a little bit, shall we? Yeah, I think we should. Okay, bridge, beautiful, and the terraforming around it's really nice. The decorating is really quite nice as well. The drowned tree, we're not going to see many of them, and to be honest with you, I'm okay with that. That looks like it probably, well, it looks real. Okay, I'll take that. Now, if we were to carry on, that's the main route through the map, but we're going to take a little by route today, just because we can. Nicely decorated as well, that intersection as well. Simple but nice. Now, one problem that I've got is, oh, hang on, there's an intersection already. Now we could take a turn off here and go through the fields, but we're not. We're going around the fields just for fun. This is a very nice decorated intersection as well with this little pond. And look, some flowers. Ah, how nice. Spring is here. Spring has sprung. Yes, I've got a slight problem with the LUT. I've mentioned it before. I find the clay LUT a little too lush for my poor sensitive colour receptors. It's I don't know, it's a medicinal thing, a medical thing, rather than anything particular. Look at that fan. Oh, look at him go, all on his own, bless him. Yes, I just find it too rich. I have trouble seeing like the grass from the trees. No, I'm not the only one, but I know a lot of you love Clara, and good for you. Good for you. I mean, I can see it's green, and those people that like their lush greens will really like. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at the waters. Oh, wonderful. And the mountains, the waters and the mountains. It's a shame they're so far apart, isn't it? I'm sure there's some water in the mountains. We'll have a look. Right, another one of these intersections, very nicely done, and a start location. It's not the start square. We will go round that way in a little while. Because these, once again, another one of those, you can go drive through the fields again, start location again, but these are right on the edge of the map. These are off of the 25 tiles. So you can use them if you're using the 81 tiles, of course, and I highly recommend, if you've got a machine powerful enough to do it, I would definitely do it. Right, and another nice perfect bridge, no problems with that at all. Nice perfect intersection, off to the fog that way, so we're going to head left. Ho, 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 off to the left we go. And a nice intersection again, very, very symmetrical. There's a lot of symmetry in this map, even though this map is not a symmetrical map, i.e. the terraforming, etc. Within the map, there's a lot of symmetry going on, a lot of it. And nice road over rail. We'll ignore that one for now, perfectly fine, no problems there. And now down to the main intersection. A bit exciting, this one. Very, very interesting. I like it. Very smooth, very slick, very tidy. And if we have a look at like the elevations are perfect. There's no street lamp clipping, there's no trees clipping through, there's no trees growing under the intersection where there's no light. I like it. I like it. I think it's very well done. There's no glitching, no clipping. Beautiful. Really nice. Right, what we're going to do is, rather than go through it or head left, we're going to go right, because that'll take us a bit towards the mountains. The mountains are on the right, and hopefully there might be a turn off down here we can take to have a look. Oh, look, now, there you go. Now we can see the mantle there. That's not good. Not good. Oh, I was so disappointed when I saw that. So disappointed. Anyway, well, we'll carry on, because there's a lot of good about this map. The good certainly far outweighs the bad. Definitely. And now this intersection, once again, very nice, very tidy, simply decorated, but simple's fine. Like a bit of simplicity. We'll take the turn off, and it's road over rail again. And now we're just wending our way up the hill through the forests to find our way into the mountains. Look at them up there. They're awe-inspiring, aren't they? They're looming over the entire map, and it's just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We'll get there in a second. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. Anybody like my music? Nah, me neither. It'll do though. Okay, and finally we're into the valley, and then they got a tunnel, that takes you through, national road, takes you through into this mountain valley. This is very nice. Vinland, nice little mountain town in there. Love that. Love it to pieces. Fantastic. Right, back to that intersection. Now we'll head off, and we've got another intersection there, nice and tidy, nice and perfectly decorated. And then we've got this bridge, and I had to show you this because there aren't many people that would do a two-tier bridge. And Bringer of Fire is one of those not many people, definitely. Done a very good job of it, and better than that, look at how it comes out there from the bridge into a tunnel, and the traffic emerges from the tunnel. Everything about that is top notch. That is 5 stars on its own. Unfortunately, you don't just get 5 stars on its own for doing a bridge, because that would be silly, wouldn't it? And what we got here? Another location down here. A little crosswalk at the end, just in case anybody wants to take a U-turn at high speed, give you a chance to cross. And we've got some rest areas here as well, which is, yeah, just simple. Very, very simple. Not essential. You might not use it. You'll certainly rebuild it, but I think it adds a little bit of interest to an otherwise just ordinary, straightforward, but perfect road. Speaking of perfect, the rail. Well, you're going to expect that to be perfect as well. Very smooth, perfectly level going across the valley there. Nicely tapered back into the ground. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. There's not too much to say about the rail, actually. The one thing I haven't checked, and I'd love for you to do, I've completely forgot to do this, and it's now silly o'clock in the morning. I'm actually, this particular video has taken me a lot longer to record than normal. A little bit of concrete glitching under there, but I quite like that. I'm going to put that down as detailing. It's not, it's glitching, but I like that there. Yes, this has taken me a lot longer because of the error earlier on in the week and various other technical issues putting this particular show together. This is beautiful as well. Look at this. Look at this beautiful. Oh, it's beauty. I love this game when it looks this good. And like I say, it can to blame slightly for producing such a fantastic theme. But yes, what I was saying, yes, crikey, I think I've probably been working on this particular show about 6 hours now. And I wanted to make sure it was right and good, and it's certainly all of those things. Yes, another one of these bridges. Oh, love it, love it, love it. So anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying about I was taking ages over making this show, and no, it's complete. I've lost my train of thought. Train of thought. See, train. No, okay. That was it. Yes, I ran out of time to check. Yes, all the way along here, I haven't seen a single train, and I'm just wondering whether these are actually connected. If these have outside connections or not. I didn't check. I should have checked. I feel a fool. I would have needed to reload the map to do that, and I literally don't have time to do that now. So if you could do that for me and stick it in the comments below, whether or not this actually has rail connections on the outside. You'd think it would, wouldn't you? Anyway. Hit the fog, let's go and have a look at today's asset. Right, well, normally we go to asset corner, but today's asset I felt needed something a little bit different than poor old Assetville. Yeah, we're at Strict Toaster's Sinu. You probably recognised it already, and it's a lovely tropical paradise. And what do you do with the tropical paradise? You go on holiday, don't you? You go on holiday there. And what have we got over here? We have got a Ploppable cruiser. It's City of the Seas cruise ship Ploppable by I Ride Bikes 6663. And this is very nice. Got lots of lovely detail on it. The name, you got the Paradox logos all over. Loads of life rafts on the outside as well. It's a big old ship. You know the cruise liners that are vanilla? Well, they're big. But this is mammoth. This is absolutely, well, it's huge. Honestly, really is huge. Wish I could show you how huge it is. Anyway, there you go. City of the Seas, cruise ship Ploppable by I Ride Bikes 6663. And that was today's asset from the asset review. Right, what are we going to do? Let's have a look at the shipping. Made an error there. Oops, sorry. I apologise for the fail, but we'll ignore that. We'll ignore it. Everything's fine. Everything's perfect, right? Shipping routes are perfect anyway, and you kind of expect them to be. I mean, those bridges are high enough and wide enough, and the shipping routes goes through them, and that is great. Okay, where are we going here? Off into the fog that way? Yes. Well, we've got another shipping route here, and this comes down this river, as you'd expect it to, and it stops dead there. Okay, that's your shipping route sorted. What about water flow? Right, now water flow, these are working rivers. We've got a big push out of water here, and this pushes the stream into the actual proper river, and now it drops down, and you actually got gravity drawing this lot down, which is great. We're not going to follow all the rivers, we're just going to check and make sure there's no backflow anywhere. That looks good. That looks good as well. Down a little bit of Rockies, a waterfall-y type area there, and out to sea where the water is still moving, which is brilliant. You need that. Hang on, we've got water being pushed back at us now. So hang on, if the water's being pushed this way, it's pushing it this way now. Hang on, we're still on the little track here. This is still flowing this way and into this lake. Very nice. Fairly still there, and the water here is being pushed out. But it's also being sucked out. There you go. That's where all your sewage is going to end up eventually, once it's gone through the system. Right, anyway, I was saying about symmetry. Now, these fields are very symmetrical. Each one of these is an actual tile. Yeah? So each tile is split into like 16 different sections. Now, admittedly, these aren't entirely, I mean, they've been a little bit creative, which I'm glad to see. But the problem is when you get down at low level, it's all too symmetrical for me, these bits. Very nicely done. You can see the effort that's gone in. You really can see a lot of time and effort's gone into these. That circle's amazing, by the way. And here, like I say, just breaking up the symmetry a little bit with these lines. But for me, the overall effect was just a little too square and a little too boxy. That said, done to the highest of standards. And so it's very hard to fault. I was saying about the trees and the colour. I'm really having trouble picking out the trees camouflaged against the grass because of the clay or LUTs there. Just too rich for me, and that's down to my colour vision. Unless you tell me it's, you struggle as well. Now over here we've got a little bit of a lakefront village. Quite nice, actually. I was surprised when I found that, and it was nice to find. It was one of those nice little Easter eggs. Very nice. What else is going on? The East Central Lighthouse, of course. Got to go and see that. This is, once again, perfect location. Nice rocky detailing around it. Looks really good up there, except for one thing: how you're supposed to get in. You're going to need a ladder to get up to that path, and so bit of a mini fail there. It's a minor thing, but too many minor things, and you kind of you might lose a star if you have too many of them. Have we had too many in this map? I don't know. Now the Rockies over here. Are they Rockies? I don't know. They can't. If it's Vinland, it's probably not the Rockies. We've got a waterfall. A lot of water falling from the top lake into the bottom lake. Where's this water going? Well, maybe there's an underground river. It's not dropping down there. But the problem is, if it's an underground river, I can't work out where it would come out to. Don't really feel that, to be honest with you. I wish I did. I'd like to have seen that river move on and actually come above ground. Anyway, now we are into the valley. Look at the view. Look, they just loom over you, these mountains. They're proper mountains. Really nice. And these forests, they're thick and they're lush. And I kind of clay works a little bit better here when you've got a bit of contrast with the mountains against in the background, I think. But where it's all green, probably too much. Nice snowy effect up here, thanks to the theme. Excellent, good work. And what a view! What a view! We haven't done the islands. Now, if I'm honest with you, if anything, I think the islands are a little bit underwhelming. Could have done with a little more work. I mean, yeah, we've got some stones scattered. I think, if anything, actually, it's the coastlines. The lack of a beach or a beach effect. I think the the pebble effect that's been used for like the riverbeds and whatever. Think that would have been quite nice around the edges of some of these islands and the shores. It just seems to go just a little bit too grass to water, I think. Anyway, it's a minor grumble. It's a minor grumble. There's nothing wrong with this map. Shut up, Bonbon. Okay. Right. Can you give this thing some scores? Okay, let's do that, shall we? Why not? Aesthetically, I think it's really good. My only grumble, of course, it's a bit too symmetrical overall. I think I'm going to lose it a star for the too much symmetry. Detailing, one or two glitchy bits with the roads and a minor grumble with the lighthouse and one or two other just minor stuff all the way. Still very worth 4 stars though. Gameplay potential, do you know what? Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Yeah, let yourself loose on this one. Yeah, could have done with a little bit more interesting variance in the... We've got the mountains, but some more hills would have been good. But other than that, really good. So anyway, Vinland, Bringer of Fire. Today's outstanding map of the day, full of colour and symmetry, and gets the BonBonB seal of approval. And I'm not going to revoke that. That's to stay, that one. Right, everybody happy that we've done a good job with this map? Well, I hope so, because I'm not going to do it again. Well, today's theme is Owl's Albedo, or Albedo 4K, and this is, well, if you don't know about Owl, Owl is one of the greats, really is. One of the showrunners, you know, kept the maps and the themes coming at the highest of standards, and without Owl, I don't know if we'd be having this conversation now, because I think maybe map making might have fizzled out a little bit without somebody like Al to keep things as sharp as they have been. What have we got up ahead today? Well, we've got, as usual, the vanilla Temperate LUT in the top left hand corner. The top right hand corner, we have got the realistic V1.2 LUT, and bottom left, Palish HD, which realistic and Palish are your two choices, as always. And finally, I figured if we're going to use an Owl theme, we've got to use an Owl LUT, and his recommended one for this theme is Cinematic HD, and so I've gone with V1 because it's slightly less stark than V2, and I think it's a fair comparison. So I like these, all 4 of these today. I'm really keen on. So anyways, that'll do. I think we've had enough map talk, and it's a Saturday, so we should be putting our feet up and relaxing, yeah? And let's relax with some factoids. Why not? Now, these ones I've not read for a number of years, so let's see if I can actually read, as it's 3 o'clock in the morning here. Yeah, really, it is 3 a.m. I'm doing this for you at 3 a.m. Mind you, I did have a nap earlier in the evening. Yeah, an old boy like me. Sometimes you could have a nap. And this left me feeling fresh and awake and alert, which is what naps do. That's not a factoid, by the way, that's just me. You know. What's going on anyway? Right, let's have a look what we got. Aristotle. He thought, see if you can guess what sort of meat Aristotle thought was the most delicate of all. Okay, Aristotle thought a particular meat was the most delicate. I'll give you the answer to that actually as at the end of the show before we end out. So have a think about that one. Would it be like chicken? Chicken, maybe? Perhaps it tastes like chicken. I don't know. Never tried it. The Swedes. I'm sure. I know we've got some Swedish viewers. The Swedes are the world's greatest coffee drinkers. They average more than 10 cups each a day. Now I drink a lot of coffee. But I couldn't drink 10 cups a day. Mind you, it depends, because a cup is like much smaller than a mug, isn't it? Yeah. And I drink probably about 4 or 5 big mugs a day, and I've got big mugs. I've got a big ugly mug as well, but we won't go down that path. So I reckon, yeah, I might drink about 10 cups a day, yeah. But anyway, the Swedes of the nation, they drink that much. Right, where we go? Well, I'm not going to bother reading that. That's probably the dullest factoid I've ever seen. I will read it, because you're going to wonder what it was now. In a survey of what children like and dislike eating, Crisps came out top, and salad came out bottom. Well, duh. I mean, I maybe would have picked, like, vegetables rather than salad, and I don't know, chocolate rather than. But yeah, it's fairly obvious. Anyway, right. To make authentic chili con carne, a piece of dark chocolate should be added to the meat mixture. I'm not much of a chef, okay? If it doesn't go ting after 3 minutes, I don't know how to cook it, so I'll take your word for that one. Right, Ernest Hemingway wrote his books on a diet of peanut butter sandwiches. Well, he was nuts after all, wasn't he? Hey? Right, no, what have we got? Canadian scientists have come up with evidence that shows that women who eat salty foods and drink lots of tea and coffee tend to give birth to boys, and women who eat plenty of eggs and milk produce girls. I can't confirm any of this, by the way, and it's an old factoid, so it's probably obsolete by now. In Tibet, rancid yak butter is used in tea instead of milk. Of course it is. So if ever you go to Tibet and get given a cup of lumpy tea that tastes rancid, they're being nice. Just so you know. Howard Hughes would only eat small peas. He had a special rake-like tool through which only the smallest peas would pass. He threw away those that didn't. When it says he only ate small peas, I'm assuming he ate other vegetables and meat and stuff like that. But anyway, speaking of other things, Aristotle, that delicate meat that he liked, are you ready? Camel. Camel was the meat that Aristotle thought was the most delicate of all. And that will conclude today's trawl through BonBon's factoids. Thank you very much for bearing with me. And we will now fade out of the usual gibberish, which is something like this. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me again tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. Of course, you can click the link on the left, which will show you the most recent video, and the link on the right, which will take you to another map in the What's Map series. Click the big circle in the middle to subscribe, and of course, you can join me on Patreon for $1 a month, get your name in the credits, and also vote on what maps we do on the Friday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. No, see you Monday! Monday! Oh yeah.